consistency doesn't come from punishment, it comes from ownership. You can't hate yourself into a body you love, and you can't shame yourself into better habits. Remember, you've never needed to be fixed. You've just needed to be loved.
Welcome to Talkin' Shit, the podcast where we get real about the unfiltered truths women face in the quest for perfection. I'm Jana, your host, a dietitian and fellow woman navigating the pressure to have it all together. The perfect body, career, relationships, and making it all look effortless. Who set that standard anyway? Here, we're calling out the diet fads, hustle culture, beauty standards, and everything else that keeps us feeling stuck. But we're not just venting, we're diving into how to break free and rewrite the rules on your terms. So grab a coffee or a glass of wine and let's talk some shit. Together, we'll uncover how to live a life that's unapologetically yours. This is Talkin' Shit. Let's dive in.
Hi, everyone. It's Jana, your dietitian and coach. And for today, I want to talk to you about something that comes up constantly in conversations with women, whether it's in my coaching calls, the Healthy Body Collective, or in DMs. It's this idea that being accountable or taking ownership somehow means beating yourself up, or what I call being your own bully. You think if you take responsibility, that means that you should likely feel guilty and ashamed for what you did. But that's not actually accurate. And I want to share more of what the truth is, particularly when it comes to taking ownership of your health. Because there is a massive difference between accountability and ownership versus guilt and shame. And understanding the difference might just be what sets you free. So let's unpack it in today's episode. Hi, I wanted to share something completely new with you. My How to Eat Fast Food and Lose Weight guide. Because sometimes dinner comes in a paper bag through your car window. And no, that doesn't mean you failed at eating healthy. This guide was created for real women with real lives, from juggling careers or kids or both to those nights when cooking just isn't happening. I'll show you how to make choices that support your health, even when fries are on the menu. Inside, I'll show you the exact menu hacks from McDonald's, Taco Bell, Starbucks, and other major chain fast food restaurants that keep your blood sugar steady, cravings calm, and your jeans fitting. Grab the guide today, go to my website, healthwins.org, and snag your instant download. So if we're being really honest, most of us were never taught how to take healthy ownership of our actions. We were actually taught punishment. You were maybe taught you ate something bad, so you failed. Or you skipped the gym, so you must be lazy. Or you gained weight, so you must not care at all. Naturally, when we start holding ourselves accountable, our brain defaults to guilt and shame. We confuse being aware with being wrong, but those are not the same thing. Accountability says, I see what happened, I take responsibility, I can learn from it. Guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am bad. And only one of those actually moves you forward. And hint, it's the one that comes with compassion. So let's start with accountability. Accountability is empowering. It's not about blame, it's about awareness. It sounds like, okay, I didn't eat the way I wanted to today. What triggered that? How can I set myself up better tomorrow? You're not judging yourself, you're getting curious. Now, guilt is tricky because a little guilt can actually be helpful. It tells you something didn't align with your values. But guilt without grace turns into punishment, and punishment never produces growth. So when you catch yourself saying, ugh, I messed up again, pause. And I want you to ask yourself, what am I learning? What do I need next time to feel more supportive? That's actually true accountability. Now, let's talk about ownership. Ownership says, I am in control of my choices, which means I also have the power to change them. This is powerful. This is leadership. That's the version of you that changes everything. But shame often says, I'm broken. I never get this right. And the second you slip into shame, you disconnect from your power because shame tells you it's safer to hide than to heal. Now, this is something that I like to really help my coaching clients through because oftentimes shame or guilt can feel or sound like the voice of reason if it's been something that you have used for years to attempt to motivate you. However, there's patterns to these. And with shame, shame typically likes to isolate. Shame likes to say you should be able to figure this out, or you don't need help, like you can do this on your own. It really likes to take you away from people and also from yourself. And when shame has a grip, it gets dark and it gets dark quick and it never changes behavior. Because here's what I know from coaching hundreds of women. When shame is present, you can't heal in hiding. You heal actually through honesty. Maybe you've even saying, I'm really struggling with this. You heal through ownership, through saying, this is where I am. It's not where I want to stay, but I'm showing up anyways. This is actually ownership. And this is what actually allows you to start the healing journey where food doesn't seem to have the grip on you that maybe it has in the past. So for most women, and maybe you, if you're really resonating with this episode, are living in this cycle. Maybe it's you mess up, then you feel guilty, then you feel ashamed, then you start over on Monday, again, and again. And it's exhausting, right? Because you oftentimes, like women have shared with me that they just feel stuck and they feel frustrated because they can't seem to move forward, or they just can't seem to, as many women have shared with me, get their shit together. And the worst part is it keeps you from ever really building true consistency or momentum, because consistency doesn't come from punishment. It comes from ownership. You can't hate yourself into a body you love, and you can't shame yourself into better habits. Remember, you've never needed to be fixed. You've just needed to be loved. So here's what I want you to do the next time you slip up, which is going to happen because you're human and you're not perfect. None of us are. And I really don't want to be. I tried for so many years of my life to be perfect and it never happened. And it was so exhausting. And maybe you've tried to be perfect for many years and it still doesn't hit. So can we just give up the facade? None of us are perfect. You are going to slip up. You are going to mess up. And that's okay. That's actually part of the journey. So when that does happen, I want you to pause, breathe, take some deep breaths, come back to your body and say to yourself, okay, I see it. I own it. And I get to choose differently next time. No shame, no guilt, just awareness and action. That's the space where growth happens. That's the space where peace begins. And that's the space where you truly feel empowered to actually make changes that stick. So I wanted to just share this episode very briefly. I can dive into this in so many more layers, and I want to hear from you. Is this a topic that you would love to hear more about? Because I certainly dive into this with my coaching clients and also in the Healthy Body Collective. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about punishment. It's about creating a sense of peace inside of you. And it's not about doing it alone. And that's really what the Healthy Body Collective is all about. Inside, I teach you how to take ownership of your health with support and compassion and accountability that actually works, because you've done enough shame and you've had enough guilt in your lifetime. You can join us today. The link is in my bio and in the show notes. But until next time, remember, guilt keeps you stuck, but ownership sets you free. See you next time.